Death Note is one of the most iconic anime slash manga series of all time. Even if you're not an anime fan or you have not watched a ton of anime, you still have heard of Death Note, and there's a lot of things that makes Death Note very iconic, whether it's the storyline or having one of the most iconic protagonists of all time like Yagami. There's just a lot of reasons why many people remember Death Note, but of course a lot of people remember Death Note as well is because of the scenes that are shown in the series. There's a lot of scenes that are very memorable, but there's also scenes that are very disturbing, but there has been only one scene that I still remember to this day that I really just always sends chill up my spine whenever I see it every time, and that is the tragic end of Naomi Misora. What makes this scene even more colder and the more disturbing is just how much of a cold person Light Yagami is. In previous episodes, we only got to see Light as just this egotistical but smart person who seems to always know what to do, but with that being the case, as soon as Light Yagami became Kira and received the Death Note, he also became very cautious and careful, as one wrong step could cost him his freedom, and this will prevent him from creating his ideal world where there is no evil or crime according to him. And because of that, he will make sure to get rid of anybody who's investigating him or has any information that could lead to his identity being exposed. And sadly, one of those people was Naomi. But before we talk about the scene between her and Light Yagami, let's take a few steps back as to what led to this interaction happening in the first place. So before this scene, we actually do learn about Naomi a little bit, in which she used to be a FBI agent before stepping down of her position, as she wanted to focus on her new life because she was about to marry with her fiance, whose name was Ray Pember, another FBI agent as well, who was part of the investigation as to finding out who was Kira and wanting to see the actual identity of Kira. And it was during this time that Light Yagami knew that the police was trying to investigate Kira and trying to find out who the actual person is, as he was very quick to learn about the investigation due to his father being part of the police force. And after a bus hijacking incident that Light set up, he found out that Pember was an FBI agent. After finding out about this, Light Yagami realized that he had to take care of this agent before he went too far with the Kira investigation, and sadly Light Yagami would kill Agent Pember. After finding out about her husband's strange death, Naomi realized that there was something going on and that most likely Kira had something to do with this, as days before his death, Agent Pember told Naomi that he got himself involved in the whole bus hijacking incident and that he actually did give his ID to someone from the bus. At that moment, Naomi realized that that person could have been Kira, who asked for his ID. Realizing this, she decided to report this to the people who were in charge of the Kira investigation, that being Light Yagami's father and his group. However, after Light found out about this, he realized that he was going to have to do something in order to stop her, and because Light is very good at manipulating, he took advantage of his father's position in order to get her trust. And it was during these conversations between Light and Naomi that Light realized that Naomi was a serious threat, as she was able to figure out that the way Kira ends people's lives isn't just simply by heart attacks. It could also be done by other methods as well, as during the bus hijacking incident, the hijacker lost his life not by a heart attack but by getting run over by a car. It was at that moment that Light realized that Naomi was a serious threat and that he needed to get rid of her as soon as possible. So he decided to now have to come up with a way in order to get her name so that he could put it on the Death Note. However, it wouldn't be that easy, as Light would realize that Naomi was a very guarded person, and just because they had these conversations right now, that didn't mean that she fully trusted him, and that will be completely shown when she gave a fake name to Light. But Light, being the manipulative person he is, he realized a way to get her to fully trust him, and that is by showing how determined he was and how dedicated he was to be in the Kira investigation, as he made it look like he was really trying to find out who Kira is and take him down once and for all. And by sounding so trustworthy, this made Naomi realize that maybe Light was an actual trustworthy person, and this was further proven when she confessed to Light that he was given a false name. And now that she completely trusted him, she decided to give her actual name. And at that moment, this was the beginning of how this scene became one of the coldest moments in Death Note, as Ryuk started laughing because Naomi's fate has already been sealed and that Light won this battle. But not only that, as soon as Light wrote how Naomi was going to die, in which as a result her death, they would never find the body of hers, when Naomi asks Light why he's constantly keeping an eye on his watch, instead of Light just lying to her, this is where we get to see how much of a cold and evil person Light Yagami is, as he decides to reveal his true identity, and is the fact that he tells her that he is Kira. And as soon as you see Naomi's reaction, you could tell that she realized that she messed up, that now it's all over for her. And the sad thing is that she starts walking away, pretty much walking towards her death, as remember, Light already wrote her name on the Death Note. And as if this scene couldn't get any more colder and any more disturbing, Light starts to tease Naomi, asking where she's going and asking if she's still interested in talking to his father about the Kira Kira investigation, showing how little remorse Light has and showing us that he just simply viewed this as just a simple win for him. What makes this scene really cold and just very disturbing is we got to see how Light changed ever since he received the Death Note in just a very short time, and we got to see what he was willing to do in order to prevent from people finding out who Kira actually was. Now you could argue that was already shown when he killed the other agent. However, what makes this scene 10 times worse is the fact that Naomi had no involvement with the Kira investigation whatsoever. The other agent was involved with the Kira investigation for a good while, but Naomi was a different case because unlike the other agent, Naomi only wanted to be involved with the Kira investigation after her fiance's strange death. That was it. But Light didn't see that. All Light saw was somebody that he needed to get rid of, because if Naomi was still around, the Kira investigation would probably have gone even further and Kira's identity would be exposed sooner or later. This was a case of Light actually fearing someone because of how intelligent they were, because remember, Naomi used to be an FBI agent before she stepped down, so she still has the skills of an FBI agent to do this Kira investigation, and the downfall of Light would have happened more faster had she still been around. Now that being said, that still doesn't justify what Light did, because at the end of the day, what Light did was just end the life of an innocent person who only wanted to find the answers of her fiance's strange death and making sure that Kira was taken down. And even though Light is a protagonist of the series, he's still an evil person as well, as he only did all this because he wanted to get rid of the people from ruining his moment on creating a peaceful world according to him. Due to his beliefs and due to his ideals, he felt that it was necessary to take down the people who were trying to stop him no matter what. And sadly, Naomi was one of those people that he had to take care of. And the worst thing about this is that even towards the end of the series, like when the series was ending, there was no update as to what happened with Naomi. They never recovered her body. She just basically disappeared from the world, which is a terrifying thing because it does show that Light was 100% being serious when he said he was going to make sure she disappears, because that was the case. I mean, the fact that they didn't even find her body even towards the finale is just shocking. Now, of course, this isn't just the only terrifying scene in the Death Note series. There are other scenes that a lot of people find disturbing and are also memorable in the Death Note series, but I think this one is by far one of the most coldest and the most disturbing out of the entire series, because it not only showed us how evil Light is, it also showed us how very little remorse he had after he did all that with Naomi. And of course, the saddest one of all is the fact that after this scene, we don't see Naomi alive. So because of all this is why I think this is the most coldest scene in the Death Note series. And with that, that's pretty much the entire video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.